Hi everyone. I hope you all are great, doing well. I hope you are all taking care of yourself, and I hope you are all in good spirits. Today we'll be learning a new story from your course book, and the name of the story is Grandpa Tickles the Tiger. Right? The name of the story is a bit unusual, isn't it? Like, how does a person tickle a tiger? Means tickling is something that you do with your loved ones. It is something that you do with somebody who you are very very close with. But how does somebody tickle such a ferocious animal? Well, let's find out in this story. So, what's the tiger? We have all heard about it, we have all read about it. It is considered one of the most ferocious animals. It is even the national animal of India. It is one of the most majestic creatures that God has created. See, here we have a small poem by William Blake on tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? See, here William Blake is praising how beautiful the tiger is, but at the same time how scary you are, and is wondering how God, the same person who made the same God the same God who created man has created something so majestic yet so powerful like a tiger. So here the immortal hand refers to probably God. Alright, so we are going to move to the story now. So this story was written by one of the most famous storytellers of India, Ruskin Bond. So perhaps before this you guys must have heard about Ruskin Bond somewhere or the other. He writes children's stories, and yes, he writes children's stories which are loved by people of all ages, and this is one such story. So this is a story that he recounts from his childhood, when he used to live with his grandfather and his grandmother. So the story begins like this. One day, his grandfather, see, that's Ruskin's grandfather, he was taking a stroll down a forest path. So what is a stroll? Stroll is a leisurely walk, means just walking around the forest path. Acha, I need to tell you that by his Ruskin Bond's grandfather and grandmother, they used to live in Dehradun, which is a hilly area. So yeah, it was not unnatural that there was a forest there. So when coming back to the story, so when grandfather was taking a stroll down the forest path, he discovered a tiger which was about 18 inches long, and it was a very small tiger. A baby tiger is called a tiger cub, and it was about 18 inches long, and it was among the roots of a banyan tree, intricate roots of a banyan tree. Achha, what is intricate? You must have seen on the roots of a banyan tree, you must have seen how they are all, warbled across. See, can you see like snakes, and they are all on top of each other, and they form a very difficult pattern which cannot be produced on paper. That is called as intricate. And now when Ruskin's grandfather found this tiger cub, he picked him up and he brought him home. See, normally when we encounter such situations, we just leave the tiger and we come home, but Ruskin's grandfather was something else. Now, not only did his grandfather brought the little cub home, he named the cub as Timothy. His grandmother named the cub as Timothy, and the tiger cub was entirely brought up on milk. Means his diet only consisted of milk, and that milk was given in a feeding bottle by their cook Mahmood. Now, at the home of his grandfather, the tiger's new home, Timothy, he was given with two companions as in two friends. He had two friends. The first friend was Toto the monkey, and the second friend was a small mongrel puppy. mongrel puppy is a street puppy. So now this Toto the monkey, this guy was very brave, right? So what he used to do, he used to pull the young tiger's tail and used to climb up the curtains if Timothy lost his temper. Well, nothing so unusual about that. Monkeys have such a nature by that. They are very mischievous by nature. So obviously this monkey used to pull the tail of the tiger, and when he would see that the tiger is getting angry, he would just climb the curtains. And the second friend was a small mongrel puppy. Now in the beginning, Timothy was very afraid of the puppy, means which is very unusual, because dogs are very afraid of tigers and not the opposite, and vice versa. So every time Timothy saw that puppy, he used to dart back with a spring, means he used to jump if the puppy would come close, and he would make absurd dashes. Dashes means a sudden movement. He would just move suddenly behind. He used to retreat. Retreat means to move to a safe distance if he saw the puppy. But finally those two became friends, and he allowed the puppy to come or to crawl onto his back and rest there. Yeah, so eventually in the beginning he was afraid of the puppy. Slowly they became friends, and the puppy started to sleep on the top of Timothy's back. Now the favorite thing that Timothy loved to do, his favorite amusement, was to stalk anyone who would play with him. Stalk means to chase, not to chase, to walk slowly behind somebody in an effort to scare them, right? So this is also one of the natures of tigers. They chase their prey stealthily so as to eat them when they get the chance. So when the author, means when Ruskin, used to come and play with the tiger, after playing, what he would do is Timothy would slowly come behind Ruskin, and he would creep closer and closer to him, and suddenly he would come near his feet and he would roll over his back and kick with delight, pretending to bite my ankles. Means that shows that he was very playful. What Timothy used to do is he used to slowly come behind Ruskin Bond, and when he would see, he would suddenly fall down and he would try as if he was biting the ankles of the author. Now by this time he was the size of a full-grown retriever, right? Full-grown retriever. Now retriever as in the golden retriever that most of you guys must already know. And when Ruskin used to take Timothy out for walks, people on the road would give them a wide berth. Wide berth means they would give them a huge distance. Means, see, for example, you take a snake on the road around your neck and you move on the road. Will people come close to you? Obviously not. They'll be scared of you. So the same thing used to happen with Ruskin. When he used to go out with Timothy for a walk, people used to stay away from them. And yes, it was a bit hard when Timothy used to pull hard on his chain, and it was difficult for Ruskin to keep pace with him, but still it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. Now the favorite thing that Timothy loved to do was he used to go and sit on the long sofa that they had and used to recline there. Recline means to sit or to sleep with his back against the sofa, and he would sit there with great dignity as if it was his own sofa. When anybody would try to get him off that sofa, he would snarl at them. Snarl means to make a noise, as in like that kind of sound. Now Timothy had clean habits. He was dogs are often very dirty. They move when you go for a walk with them outside. They rub their face in every type of dirty things. But cats, they don't. They are much more cleaner. Like Timothy was like a cat. He had clean habits, and he would scrub his face with his paws. Means he would clean his face with his paws. Paws means his legs, we call his feet, basically we call paws. And at night he used to sleep in the cook's quarters means the room where their cook used to sleep. And every morning when he was let out, means he was left out to go outside, he would be very very delighted, means he would be very very happy. Now one day their grandmother, she said that we are going to find Timothy sitting on Mahmood's bed and no sign of the cook except his clothes and shoes. The grandmother said in a prophetic manner. Prophetic means as if saying that she knows the future. She says that one morning we'll wake up and we'll open Mahmood, which is the cook's room, and we will find Timothy will be sitting on Mahmood's bed, and Mahmood will not be there, only his clothes will be there and shoes will be there, which means that Timothy will eat Mahmood. So now, will Timothy actually eat Mahmood? Will Timothy actually eat the author? Well, if he did that, then who would have written the story, right? So let us find that out in the next class. We will do today this much only, and I suggest you guys read the story, and it is actually quite fun. Thank you guys.